Tim, good to have you back on here for number three, I think.
For
Always
the
good to
very
see you.
yeah.
Now, just first things first, business up front. Sound Canvas was released earlier this month.
Mhm.
Um, and that's the seventh release, right?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
I think it's the set. We're going to go with the seventh. So it's the seventh release.
Yeah, something like that.
Um, yeah. And we're not going to go and check it. People can go ahead and go to the Bandcamp to check that out and buy some of it after this and tell us that we're wrong if so.
Hopefully,
Um, you
it's
you know
free.
it's free, but but people could also pay for it. Yes.
Yeah, I found. I don't know if I don't have any like data, but I feel like because I'll get a lot of like dollar purchases, like someone will buy it for $1, but so you get like 20 of those. You know, I feel like people. It's harder to get a consistent like whatever the price is, 8.90, 9.99 for a full album. But if you do like if it's free, then I feel like a lot of people will pay like $1 or $2 or and then you'll get the occasional like someone will put down 15. You're like, oh, okay, that works. So,
So we,
but
we
yeah,
want people to pay the 15, please. If you can, please do it.
if they're feeling generous, if not, take it for free. I'd rather at this point it's just like just have the music, you know, enjoy it if you want.
When you began buying music, CD format or tape or vinyl, whatever it was, how much was it usually? A rough average of getting something new on your hands.
Well, by the time I was actually buying music of like someone that I liked, it was probably CDs because that was like had to have been like late 90s because I was like seventh grade was like 98 I think, something like that. So I don't know, it could have been like Green Day or something.
Something good, yeah.
Yeah, like Dookie or something. It was probably I think they were 14.99. It might have been a used copy, but like new CDs were like 14, 15.99, and that was like pretty consistent through a while CDs were you know, still like the primary source of like media being sold.
Do you think
Like I
that'll
don't
come
remember like
around to, please?
I don't remember like a jump in like CD prices. Like it didn't, skyrocket to $20 or 25 unless it was like a limited something. But,
Do you think that we'll see that again with the CDs making its way around again? Like that's the thing to buy yet again.
I don't know. That's a good question. I've been enjoying my CDs lately. Um,
What has been some of your CDs as of late?
well, we're going through like some of my old like hardcore collection of CDs. Or like buying music that I like because I'll kind of go back and forth with vinyl. Like sometimes it's cool and you get really behind it, and then sometimes it's just kind of like a drag. It gets dirty, it's popping when you don't want it to pop. Um, you're just like, oh, I just cleaned this vinyl. Yeah, you know, it's but it's a very nice. It can be like a very interactive thing where everything's so constant, like on a streaming service. It's nice. It is nice to flip the record, or even just like to watch something happening. You're watching the needle on the groove. But CDs are nice. Sometimes I've been kind of intently listening to whole albums, so it's nice to hear it from beginning to end without having to flip the record. Especially if there's like segues between songs, like they run into each other. Sometimes on a vinyl, it's like that the next song runs into each other, but then you gotta like flip it. but I don't know if it'll come back. It's not cool enough, I don't think. Um, I think vinyl has like the very like cool thing about it. You know, if you're gonna buy something, it's big. You see the art, you can see the vinyl itself. CD's kind of like just a not as cool version of that because you're not seeing it play. You're just kind of popping it in, and then like sometimes I think about that. Like I'll put in a CD, and it's like, wow, I should just play it. I have this on my computer too. I should just hook it up to my computer. It's like it's not that different, but
It's a
I
valid
don't know.
point, Tim. It's a valid point. I can't argue that. I'll
It
find
is
something else to
cheaper to
argue with you about, but that one I can't grasp onto.
yeah, it's pretty solid. Um, but CDs are cheaper to make. Uh, but it's vinyl is just so expensive, and with vinyl being such a like commodity right now, you're almost getting into an area where it's like it's kind of becoming like you can get vinyl cheaply made, but it's very cheap vinyl. Like CDs are across the board going to be good. The sound quality is not going to waver depending on, I mean, it could depend on your mix and your master, but like there's so many variables with vinyl. You have your vinyl mastering, your lacquer, all these different things, your plating, what type of vinyl they're using, and like making crappy vinyl just seems dumb. you know, like you can get a cheaper way to make vinyl, but it's like vinyl's such a, if you're gonna go that route, you might as well you know, go to the full nines on it. But
Right, right. Have you lost a vinyl that you just don't know where it went? Has that happened to you?
like one that I bought
One that you bought, yeah,
and it just stopped being there.
just disappeared, yeah.
I don't think so.
All is accounted for.
As far as I know, I can't think of like I don't lend stuff out to people.
It's not a
Uh,
library, I understand.
yeah. Has that happened to you?
No, I've never
Or had you heard of that happening?
I've heard of it happening, especially with DJs and whatnot, or just people just
Oh yeah, I could see that for sure.
being over at other people's houses. But I've never lost one myself. Plus, if I feel like if I had a vinyl that somebody really wanted, depending on the person, I'd let it go
Sure.
if they needed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, but one that I wouldn't let go of is Payador, which I do have on vinyl, and that's one that's not up for grabs.
It goes for a pretty penny sometimes. I've seen some people have sent me links to some, copy on Discogs and it's like 250, which is crazy.
It's
You
a good
know,
price.
it's
I like
not
it.
a I still have a couple represses. I've been waiting for a show, but I haven't played a show in a long time. But
Is that intentional that you're not trying to play shows?
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like a different rabbit hole musically, so I haven't even really like picked up a guitar or written much like folky stuff or anything like that. So, but I just talked to Clay Finch, and we were talking about we've thrown the idea back and forth of doing a show in Ojai at the Deer Lodge.
Ah, hmm.
So that could be something in a little bit. But no, I haven't really had a desire to go do the thing. I think about it all the time, but it's not really I don't yeah, I just don't have that like desire.
Right. Now
If it
with
was something cool, maybe. Like I would love to do stuff in like either Ojai or Big Sur. I would love to go play some like more outdoorsy kinds of things, you know.
Hmm.
And I've gotten some offers like out of state. You know, some people will be like, "Oh, we love your music. You know, come to Austin or something." But then it's like there's not really like an offer, like a money offer. And not
Mm-hmm.
that I would want to get paid a lot of money, but I'm certainly not going to pay. I'm not going to lose money to go play a show in Austin, you know. If you're talking about flights and a room for the night, you know. So, you know, if I was like 25 maybe, but I just crossed over the 40 threshold, so I'm good.
So 50s when you get your second wind. I understand. Now
Well,
with
the
please.
plan is to go really deep into electronic for a while, and then by 50, 55, then I'll do my magnum opus folk record.
I thought you were leaning more towards a classical endeavor at that point. I thought that that's what we were gearing towards. I maybe I got my facts wrong and I apologize, Tim. I thought it was gonna be a whole orchestral ensemble, this sort of a thing.
Yeah, I was kind of doing that. Yeah, I don't know where I'm at right now. But it feels good. I like that. I think I like not knowing. I kind of like unsurprisingly or surprisingly like ran into this group that I just like can't get over, and they've kind of consumed my listening hour, you know, my time of, so that's like all I do now is just listen to them. Uh and it's not classical. It's like kind of just crazy electronic music, but it's been fun. I like it.
With this more electronic music, ambient music, if you will, that you've been producing as of late, it, would you ever want to bring that into a live setting?
I tried once, uh, and it was okay. Um, the thing is, like, especially with the more ambient stuff, it's like at home, it's very quiet. You know, it's very like controlled. And then, so I did a show in Venice, and I think that was, well, the venue itself kind of like made it like kind of a terrible show because it's like you got to double park, like it's like right downtown Venice. So you got to double park, unload everything downstairs. So I had my Wurlitzer synthesizer. I had brought an amp. I had like my own DIs and like some pedals and stuff like that. So I mean, it's like $5,000 worth of equipment. So you got to like double park, take it down there, and then just leave it there, and then go find parking, which was
Wherever
like
that is. Yeah.
wherever that is in Venice. And I ended up parking like it took me like 15 minutes to walk to the venue. And then the band that was headlining went like super long on sound check. So I had like 10 minutes to set everything up and line check. And it just sounded crazy to me, like, because I was used to like my room where it's this volume, and now it's this volume. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Um, so it wasn't a very enjoyable thing, but it could have just been that venue and not having like proper time to like EQ some stuff. Uh, so I don't know. I'm willing to try it again, but definitely not at that place.
What about in an outdoor setting? Do you think that that would change stuff significantly for you in terms of performing these more ambient driven songs?
It could be. Um, yeah, I don't know. It would depend on, I guess, the type of show. Uh, like if that's what people are expecting, or if that's like the kind of show that's being promoted, like it's going to be this kind of music. But I think also it's just more of like enough time to set up properly and like get the sound correct. I think
Mm.
that's more my concern as opposed to like indoors or outdoors. It's more of just like having the right time and the right like space to set everything up and sound check it and get it to sound at least where I feel comfortable playing it.
It's interesting that you go between these two forms of music, one requiring a lot of time to set things up and make sure everything's proper, and then just with the harmonica and an acoustic guitar. It's
Yeah.
interesting they have two these two sides of the coin here, Tim. Not many people are occupying this space that you're in, and I like that you're doing
Well, thanks.
it.
Um, well, I think as I've gotten older, I feel like I'm more of just like just kind of a curious musician as opposed to wanting to be like a guy, you know? Like there's like artists who are like that. They're that person, they're like a Charlie Crockett or something, it's like a whole thing. Whereas I'm more interested, I think, in well, I don't know anything about him. That's
It's just an example. Yeah.
an assumption and an example. But I'm just kind of like more interested in music, I think, and what's fun to create and listen to and play and stuff like that. Like sometimes guitar is like really fun to play and sometimes it's not. And I don't want to get stuck feeling like I have to do if I want to be successful in music, I have to do folk music or like I understand that that's the foundation. And if I was to play shows, that's what people would want to hear, which is fine. And I wouldn't mind doing that because it'd be a lot easier than dragging around keyboards and stuff. But in the meantime, I just gotta like explore making stuff. I think it's for me, it's really fun to find like a new instrument and be like, okay, what can I get out of this?
Hmm.
Uh, whether it's like one specific keyboard, just using like that one synthesizer to make a bunch of songs, or like a step sequencer, or like with Sound Canvas was made on just like this little box that you can hook up to your keyboard. Uh, so that's yeah, that's fun. And then it's like kind of with folk music, it's like you I made the one that people like, that people know. So that's kind of like you're in in the music thing. Uh and that's what people most people listen to. But I can put out other stuff and maybe get like a couple you can like reel in a couple of fans and to like listen to your new stuff. Um so I think the having the folk and having this stuff, it's all like good, you know, it all works together, works for each other, I think.
And it's sorry, Tim, I just get choked up when you talk about these things. It's good that you're introducing this now. I mean, like kind of jumping off of what you just said about you kind of set the tone early on with Payador, but then putting out these more ambient sounding shades of green and sound canvas. It is good that you're like, hey, like you're mixing it in early. It's not like it's a huge jump, putting out three releases that are just really guitar driven or piano driven songs and then switching it up now. I think that it's a smart move, Tim. And I know you're a businessman, so from one businessman to another, one Gordon Gecko to another, I respect it.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Hmm.
Not many people see it, but you're the only one.
Hey, me and you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, with Pydor, it was I don't think anyone thought, definitely didn't think that it would mean anything really. Uh, but I don't even know if it was a conscious decision, but it was kind of like, I don't want to do three Pydors in a row. It could have been easy to do that for sure. Probably could have sold more records, like having used the same artist for the artwork and having done like a trilogy of sorts. Some people do that. Uh, but yeah, just try. I think staying fresh is important to me musically, uh, and not getting too like bogged down by like what you think people will like or sell. I think there was a brief time where I was kind of like into that, thinking about it, but it kind of like washed over pretty quickly. It was like I just want to make music that's that I like. That's interesting to me.
Is it easy to find what you're trying to go for or what interests you in the moment of creating something new? Has that become easier over the years?
Definitely, yeah. Well, as you get older, you care less about things, or at least I do. But I also think like things changed, like the world changed, music changed, just in the last few years. I mean, COVID really did something to the music industry. I think Instagram's different now as far as using it as a tool to promote your music. Uh, a music's bought or not bought, the way it's used for TikToks. I mean, it's just like it's a different it's a different thing now, and you kind of just have to like adapt to it or ignore it and just move on. And so, yeah, it's like I don't. Instagram feels like it's like working against people now, musicians. Like every
Tim
bit,
Duncan Hill on Instagram, by the way. We'll put it in here. This is a good segue to do it. Yeah.
yeah. But no one will see it. That's the thing.
No, people stay right up until this point with the algorithm of this podcast. So we just got in right under the line. So I feel good
Uh,
about it.
about 20 minutes in, people
Yeah,
are like,
but no, I don't know. Maybe. Well, we'll just say this now. If anybody's still with us, we really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you for
"Thanks."
being with us.
Yeah,
Tim, thank you for being with me, and thank the listeners for being with us.
yeah. Thanks all around.
We appreciate it.
Much
This is
appreciated.
2026, and we're just being appreciative.
True.
That's our
That's
mantra for this year.
that's all we can do nowadays. And I feel like that's just be appreciative, be gracious, make stuff, be kind, all that.
All that bullshit. Yeah, 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 totally.
Yeah, all that junk. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think part of it's growing up. I think part of it's like less interested in being an artist and more of just making stuff. I don't know.
Would you ever want? Because I know that for the most part, mostly all of your releases, I'm assuming, or at least to a larger extent, that you're working on this alone in
Mm.
getting these songs together and stuff. But in regards to the more ambient sounds, would you ever want to bring somebody else into the fold for a an album or a release or at least a song? Would that ever interest you at all?
Uh, sure. Um, well, I had this guy Sebastian who used to play in the Claire. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
did some stuff on Shades of Green, uh, and he's putting out an EP in which I played some stuff on, and that's like electronic music. Um, and we've sent stuff back and forth. a little bit here and there. I don't really have anyone specific in mind that I'd want to work with. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also just not really a fan of like talking or asking people stuff like, "Hey, would you want to do this?" Or it's just I just find like like doing emails and stuff like that to be so I don't know, just a waste of time. Like
If you
I can do stuff on my own, I can record on my own, I can put it out. It's so easy to put out music now, for better or for worse. I don't know. So I mean I've been hit up to play on people's stuff, which I've done before, and I don't mind doing that. Uh, but as far as my own music, it's kind of I don't have like that burning desire to work with anybody.
if you were to do this hypothetically, do you think that it would just drastically change what would have came if it was just if you just stayed the course of just working on it by yourself? Do you think the addition of somebody else within the process of writing or constructing a new song would change dramatically?
It might.
And
It
we're gonna
might.
find out. We're gonna find out next month the new album is coming out.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. And then I don't know how I would respond to that, or vice versa, how they would
Hmm.
respond to. I mean, I'm not a very like argumentative kind of guy. I think
Yeah,
if
that's where
something,
you're wrong, Tim. I don't believe you, and here's why.
I think if something was starting to go sour, I'd probably just like turn my back on it.
Hmm.
Like thinking like, well, I'll just write something that I like in the future. Like I wouldn't not put effort into that thing, but I feel like, okay, this is going one way and we'll just let it go that way and I'll do what I can with it. But like, I don't, there's like an endless, like, I don't really get like so attached to something where it's like, I'm going to fight for it. Like, especially with music, it's like, there's always going to be more ideas on the horizon and you're always going to be really excited about something or not excited about something. And, it's not really worth like fighting over, is my take on it, my opinion.
I'm not gonna
But
fight you on that, Tim. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna let you bait me into another argument on this podcast.
I mean, playing chess here.
I know it. I mean, you're a worthy opponent, Tim. I'm gonna tell you that. Um, with 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 new songs, with making new songs and getting them down in their final forms, either right before recording them or recording them, how long do they say new for? How long is that feeling of freshness within a new batch of songs or one song or whatever it may be?
I think until you release it,
Hmm.
and then once it's released, like I I like to listen for a while. I like to keep it as fresh for myself and keep it to myself for as long as possible. Uh, so record the time from like the birth of an idea till it's completed, and then you record it. Uh, and then you get like a batch of those songs, and then you kind of compile it, you sequence it a little bit, um, to the point, and then you like I'll listen a lot like on my walks, like that's just the music I listen to, um, and you kind of come up with new ideas, and you can tweak things here and there, and then once I kind of get like not bored with it, but like there's nothing else I can do with these songs, then you throw it out there, and then I like never listen to it again. Like I haven't listened to anything that's been out that's been released. Occasionally, I'll go back and listen to like a track or something, but uh, yeah, once it's out there, it's like no longer my thing.
Hmm.
It's just like out in the world.
Has it come over time that you're just like, it is what it is, and I'm gonna let go of it, even before it's released? Has it gone through enough filters that you understand now? You're like, it is what it is. I like the way it is, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna let it go. And there's gonna be another new thing to work on coming around
yeah,
the bend.
yeah. I'm not because I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna I'll tinker a little bit, but I'm not gonna like uh just spend hours and hours and hours on a song or a record. Like if things I like when things come naturally. So whether it's a folk song or like an electronic track, if it's like hitting and it can be done within like a couple hours or something, and then from that point you can kind of just tinker for a little bit here and there, then that's when I think it's a good idea. But if you're trying to like, you know, fit a square peg into a round hole to like get this song to like exist, then it's like, what's the point? But some people can do that. That's not certainly not a wrong way of doing things, but I don't find the joy in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think making music should be joyful to for the most part.
That's a crazy statement. It
Yeah.
should be hard. It should be really pulling teeth the whole way through, and you
Well,
shouldn't find
I
joy in
wonder
that.
about it sometimes. I mean, people put so much effort into their music and you can hear it, and I applaud it. Um, but I also feel like sometimes things that are low effort are just as good. You know, there's so much like brilliant low effort music,
Yeah.
and there's brilliant high effort music. But it all just comes down to what's comfortable making, how you make music and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Um, Recently I asked a couple of guests about this, Tim, and I want to kind of switching gears here for one moment. In terms of hearing people's music, what's an overplayed song for you that you've heard enough and you don't need to hear again?
An overplayed song?
Overplayed song in your life.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really listen to music. Um, that's interesting. I don't know. I couldn't think of like a song
Well,
specifically.
if it comes to you, Tim, at any point, please
Well,
you
because
just lay
yeah,
it
I
on
don't
me.
really I'm either listening to like, you know, two things. I'm either listening to my own music that I'm working on a lot, um, or I'm listening to like Autechre, which is like crazy electronic music, or like Brian Eno. So those are kind of like my only things that I'm really giving attention to.
Hmm.
And not like none of those things are like overplayed anywhere. Like you're not hearing any Autechre tracks on TikToks or anything. Uh,
Not until now, Tim. I think you're really starting a trend here,
yeah.
starting on this podcast.
Well, what's interesting now is like listening to country music. Sometimes I'm just like, ugh, this sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, I don't know if it's like growing out of it or like, or if it was just like a really bad country song or something. But like last week when I was fishing on that trip, like people were blasting like country music from their trucks, like by the river. And it's just like all those sounds just like made me like, were so shrill for some reason.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, I would say it wasn't really good country music, so it could have had that going for it. But I think just like the tones and the textures of Western country music are just like not hitting with me right now. Um, so I could say country is overplayed.
I like it just as a whole.
Just the whole genre just needs to go away for a little bit.
Okay. All right. So what's put out there now? Just stop it for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if that's again, I don't know if that's like if it's gotten worse or if my taste has just changed or because well, there's certainly not all country music or all folk music. Like I like to listen to if I there's like some really simple like Spanish guitar um or acoustic guitar, just kind of like really pretty like finger picking stuff, but like really simple or like Robert Lester Folsom, his stuff. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I have heard of him. I've never heard his music though.
Well, he's been putting out. He's kind of like he's an older guy now, but they've been re-releasing some of his like reel-to-reel. They're almost like demos, so it's just like very lo-fi, very like kind of unassuming music, like very underproduced, uh, and it sounds great. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff, and that stuff I like. So maybe it's just kind of like the overproduced, twangy kind of like it just kind of sounds kind of like corny sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
country music.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that could just be my ears are changing, all the time.
And I mean, do you want that to be the case?
What?
Your ear for music or how you listen to music or what you're
I would
reaching
prefer it.
for. Yeah.
I would
Oh, and
prefer
instead of
that,
saying stagnant and I only like this sort of a
which is fine.
yeah.
I honestly have a lot of when I look at artists that have a catalog of great whatever it is, jazz or country or classical or spanning a couple decades, like that's an amazing thing to stick to something. I almost feel like it's nice to have that freedom or to take those chances on just like putting out whatever you want. But there's also like consequences to that where like well, maybe not consequences is the right word, but
No, but
you're not you're not going to
I do
keep the
understand.
same amount of you're not going to grow. Had I put out 5 Pyadors, you know, my fan base or listening base would maybe be a lot bigger. Maybe, no guarantee, but uh putting out stuff consistently that people are kind of like, isn't the gateway to success, I think.
Playing songs from Fyodor Giant, these more guitar driven tracks live when you have done that or when you do that, do you try to keep it pretty close to how it sounds on the recording?
Yeah, I don't know if it's intentional. I think that's just how I play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't grown as a guitar as a guitarist since those records. Uh, so if anything, it'll sound worse. Um, I think. Well, there's different. I think there in some way you have to play it a little different if I'm playing solo,
Right,
because
right.
you have to kind of fill up a little more space. I like playing with an electric solo. It's kind of nice. It just kind of fills the room a little bit more, gives it a little more vibe, as they say. Whereas like, because I'm not like a good enough like picker at the at a acoustic guitar. um, to kind of like entertain a crowd for 30 minutes or whatever. I think also, yeah, it's like you have to kind of compensate for not having drums and a bass and stuff like that.
Right, right.
Uh, but also mood changes. Like I'm not in the same mood that I was when I wrote those songs. So playing them now would have a different mood, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I don't have any like intentions on purposely playing them weird just to like mess with people or to like be like snooty about it.
I was gonna say snooty. I'm glad that you threw it in there.
Yeah, I've thought about doing like piano versions, like bringing a Wurlitzer or something like that and playing those songs just on a keyboard. But that could be cool.
Next show, perhaps.
The only thing is, yeah, it's just like a Wurlitzer is kind of heavy and they're expensive. I
Look,
have to get,
it's either you do that or you go back to Venice to play a show. That's it's in the ball's in your court now, Tim.
yeah, and this is why I don't play shows anymore. It's just like this complicated, like it's just
This
this
is it.
dumb
This is why.
music's so dumb sometimes. Uh, but what else am I gonna do?
Well, I'm glad that you're still making music, Tim, and I think a lot of people would agree with me with that. Now, going back to live performances that not that you're not participating in, but that you've seen, do you like to hear a different rendition of a song that you know live? It's that's changed in some way, or they're bringing something else to the table that you had that's not on the recorded, uh, whatever, recording rather, not recorded, but recording.
I don't know.
Or is it maybe it's a circumstantial case like these? I'd like to hear it for these people, but not for these people, or whatever.
I mean, I don't really know. I can't even remember the last like show I went to. Um, like that I've paid money and gone to see. Like I can't like I haven't gone to a show in a really long time. Uh, I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is like I saw Dylan long time ago, probably in my early 20s in like Bakersfield or something. It was like Dylan, Willie Nelson, and I think it was like John Cougar Mellencamp or something like that. Uh, and Willie was great. I didn't know a lot of his catalog at the time. I mean, I knew his hits, but uh, and then Dylan is completely different, obviously, from his records. It's like so different. And I didn't really care for it. But I mean, I knew that before going. I knew it was different. And he's obviously like, playing songs from the 60s and he's like in his 60s or 70s or 80s. I don't know how old he was or is now. Uh, so it was more of just like oh, there's Bob Dylan on stage. It was kind of more of just like that kind of feeling, less about like, am I enjoying the set? It was more of just like cool to see him like just standing there as a real person. So, but I'm not opposed to people doing whatever they want to do with their music. But
As long as it's good to you.
as long as it's good to me, I have a hard time, I think just in general at live shows, uh, depending on what it is. But for me, it's like reaches, once it goes past like a certain threshold of like dBs, like volume, I'm just kind of not into it. I just have a hard time enjoying loud. Like I just don't enjoy loud bands anymore.
Hmm.
Like I remember even having trouble like on some of like the later like All Allah's tours, even just playing that music, like being on stage with the guitars, I would just be like, don't put anything in my monitors. Like, I just
Real
like don't want.
what? Even with all laws,
Yeah, it's just like
notoriously huge, very heavy, just a lot of sound,
I
wall
know,
of sound.
just like two guitars and a couple guitars. It wasn't even that loud, but I was just like, couldn't hang. I just can't like once it goes past a certain volume. Um, I had played. I did some shows playing keys with Reverend Barron,
Mm.
Danny, and we did one festival in Colorado. I can't remember which, where I think it was put on by King Gizzard. I
Oh
think it was,
yes, field of vision.
yeah,
Mhm.
but it wasn't in Denver. It was like somewhere kind of out in the sticks, which was nice. It was real pretty. But I remember trying to like we were walking around trying to watch some bands. I caught like a little bit of White Fence, but again, I was just like I can't enjoy it. It's just too loud for me. Too loud. Uh, so I think I went back to the Airbnb and just chilled. But yeah, I forgot where we were going with that.
Just to tag on to that for a moment, has there been shows that you've been to that you're like, this is way too quiet? Not that you performed in, but that you went to go see, like that was not mixed properly or just quiet in general.
No,
Okay. All
I
right.
probably loved it if it was too quiet. Uh, yeah. Again, though, I can't really think of a show that any shows that I've been to, just ones that I've played.
Yeah. And you did attend those. I know that for a fact.
I was there.
Yeah.
Um, hasn't been too many. I did like a few with Reverend Barron last year. I think I did one with the All Laws a couple years ago or last year. I can't remember. As kind of like a fill-in. Uh, and I haven't played much myself,
Well,
but
Tim, I've been able to see you kind of play in these in that format of a hired gun scenario, and I really do enjoy it. How do you feel about it now?
I like it. It's a lot easier. It's
Mm,
like less pressure. Um, Kind of depends on the music. Like Danny's music is very like calm and chill, and it's a very like cool group. So that was fun. Uh, I did one show for Calvin Love. It was
hmm
like his record show. I was at Gold Diggers, uh, and that was kind of like I really like his songs, but it was just kind of chaotic because we like had a couple practices, and then on stage there was like 7 or 8 people, and there's only like 2 or 3 monitors. They're kind of like mix, you're like sharing a lot of monitors, and I'm not someone that needs. I'll just be like, nah, it's okay. You don't have to put my stuff in there because there's people. I know, I recognize other people's roles and like what's going on, and it's like, okay, this violinist and singer, she definitely needs more monitor space so she can have whatever she wants.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a real loose, like I couldn't necessarily hear myself, but I was like, all right, well, we're here on stage, and then just kind of play the tunes.
The show must go
Uh,
on, as you
the show,
said time and time and time again, Tim.
yeah. Uh, but I do like, I mean, it's real easy for me to learn stuff, like other people's stuff. I feel like I did a pretty good job with that with like other people that I played with. And I kind of enjoy it. It's like something to learn, something to practice, as opposed to like always working on my own stuff
Hmm.
or whatever. So it can be cool if anybody out there needs a keyboard player.
I'm gonna hire you just to move some stuff around, Tim, and have to find parking. That's
Just a
that
mover.
that no no no. I it's very heavy stuff, very heavy piano based stuff. Steinways and shit like that, you know.
No, I can't do that. That's like
I'm gonna need you to drop by my house, Tim, when we're done with this. We're gonna have to do a little pulley system to get the grand in.
I don't think my back could take it.
Can you just supervise then?
I
Not
could
asking
supervise for
not
sure.
asking you for much, Tim.
Yeah,
Just asking you to help me hoist a piano through a roof or through a
yeah,
window, through a
yeah.
roof.
We can do it.
You know, one of the performances that I saw at Gold Diggers I thought was spectacular was Okonski's trio.
Oh yeah,
Amazing, really good.
love it.
Did not like my position in Gold Diggers at the time, but the music was good.
You mean like where you were standing?
Yeah, I was not yet. It's
Where were
a
you standing? Were you like on the
it,
by the bar, or
yeah, I was on the side, the little side
yeah?
thing that wraps around like that. But
You
I
can get a good view there, but it's not a good sound spot.
nah, this is pillar. This is pillar
Yeah,
space. Yeah.
I should have gone to that. I think I'm gonna try and if there was something I would go to, it would probably be something like that. I think he's doing a lodge room show.
Hmm.
I might try and go. Yeah, that stuff's super cool.
They're amazing. They're really good.
I would, yeah. I was almost like jealous a little bit. I was like, okay, okay, guy, with your cool record.
Yeah, he's awesome. I kind of equate you two in the same realm.
Did
Just
have you talked to him? Have you had him on?
yeah, I have. He's a just a
Cool.
fantastic guy, very nice.
Yeah, seems like it. Seems
Makes great music.
like a good dude.
Hmm.
Um, I know he had me on. I don't know. Maybe someone sent it to me, but he had put the Pyador track on one of his playlists or something.
That's awesome.
I thought that was interesting.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
I've asked him to make a playlist for this podcast to no avail. Steve, if you're listening, I need you to get back to me on that. We need to put this sucker out.
he's probably got some good recs, some good playlist stuff. I'm
You know
so
what I
bad.
asked him for though? I asked him for because he mentioned or whatever we were talking about, like bad DJs
Uh-huh.
in terms of like jazz, like switching stuff up that's not good. I said I want you to create like a really bad mix of jazz. Not that the jazz is bad, but it's just like this does not go together in this order at all. Just like
Yeah.
hard end, hard start, hard end, hard start, nothing flows.
Yeah.
So Tim, if you want to do it and beat him to the punch, I'd be more than happy to take it.
I can try.
I would
I
love it.
might I can switch it some like electronic with some Bill Evans.
I love Bill Evans. I'm not like a jazz aficionado or anything, but hearing him talk and like listening to how he plays, it's fucking awesome. There's an interview, one of his last interviews, and it's just in his car and he's driving around like upstate New York. That he has to go get some medication, and it's just
Yeah.
this guy sitting in his car with him with a microphone. He's like, "Oh, I gotta pull into this pharmacy," and you just like hear him like talk to like a booth attendant thing. It's awesome. I'll send it over to you, Tim. It's a really good listen.
I it sounds familiar. I don't know if I've heard it all the way through, but he's one of my favorites and also just one of those kind of like guiding lights back to just to kind of get back to like the center of like why you're making music to begin with.
Hmm. Hmm.
Him and Brian Eno are both so articulate with how they talk about music, and there's just kind of like a purity to it in their words. Uh, and they're both kind of like masters at their crafts. So yeah, Bill Evans is huge for me,
Mhm.
and Brian Eno. Yeah, like listening to Brian Eno talk about music or art, uh, you're just like it. Like there's very few people I can like listen to, just in general. Like there's so many people talking in the world uh, at all times, but there's just like a couple people you like stop that could just kind of like grab your attention and get not only explain something but get you like excited about something again, get you excited about making music or making art or even just listening to it or just like being like existing with it with you know sometimes music gets like or art in general just kind of gets like thrown into the mix of like daily life. It's like listening to music is like it's like going to the grocery store. It's just become like this thing that you do, but to like intently listen to music or like a record or something like that's there's a difference in that, you know. There's a difference
Right.
between like just consuming music or art or paintings or whatever it is and like thoroughly like trying to enjoy it. What does it make you feel, you know, pulling out tones and uh, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah. I think that's well said. Yeah. It's kind of the access of it is so always at your fingertips that it's less appreciated maybe for some people at some points perhaps. It's
Totally.
not like this is something that's really an amazing thing to grasp onto.
Yeah, like someone made this and someone probably spent a lot of time on it and it's easy to just like skip the track if you're not feeling it. But that's what I loved about Autechre when I started listening to him a couple years ago because they're just kind of like so abrasive. They have a lot of pretty stuff too. And even sometimes in their abrasiveness, there is a lot of beauty. Uh, but almost like powering, trying to power through records, uh, and trying to get through it. And it gets like easier, and more it like clicks, and you like understand stuff. Um, like it's not like you can't just like passively listen to it because
Yeah.
it's not
This is
pleasant
an
enough to,
active thing. Yeah.
yeah, because it's not
Turn
like
on your
pleasant
ears.
enough to like just have on.
Mhm.
It is now for me. Like I love just having them on, but before you like you're into it, like it's yeah, it's just so like chaotic and abrasive and unique that you just like have to kind of like put the headphones on and just like let it like wash over you. Just kind of like let it pummel you, and then there's like moments of relief, and then it comes back. But it was just like it's just so interesting, and to think like people spent time making this, it just like really like gets you to like appreciate their music, but also just like making music in general.
Yeah. Do you think people like went up to Beethoven and was like, "Hey man, I had to leave during that last sonata. It was bad, but I came back in. I didn't like that sonata, but I liked the next piece
It,
that you played."
I guarantee you, there was people like that back then. Just like snooty, you know, people that just walked out on Beethoven for sure. And they went outside and had like, I mean, they didn't have cigarettes then, but
A pipe.
a pipe maybe,
Yeah.
just in the alleyway, just smoking their pipe. And then they went back in and then, you know, talking to Beethoven in the green room. It's just like, yeah, it was cool, Like I don't think people are different now than they were then.
Yeah. But the access to these i- things has become much more easier, I guess, to
Sure.
get into the ear of an artist. Like not everybody was able to do that, but now everybody's able to do that to some of an extent,
Yeah.
whether they're hurt or not, I guess. Because Tim, I mean, I remember just like really laying it on you heavy last time I saw you live. Like this, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. That was okay. Just
And that's why I never played a show ever again.
yeah, I apologize for bombarding you with. I mean, I wouldn't say it. Maybe I would say it again.
That was
Um,
the draw.
yeah, that was it. That was the one. Do you enjoy talking to people before you go on stage or after you go on stage, or do you
Before
just
now. After's
before?
fine.
Do you, if you're playing with other people, like let's say like when you're playing with All Allahs, would you converse with them or would you still take that time to be with
Oh,
yourself
sure.
in that time?
Yeah, playing with them, I no. Only time I would feel that is if it was my show.
Mm-hmm.
But playing with other bands, I don't feel anything. I could do whatever. I could eat a whole turkey before I went on stage, you know, whatever it is. It has no effect on me whatsoever. But if I'm playing like a show, a solo show, that whole day is ruined. It's done. Like I'm real care like I don't I don't like eat right. Uh like real careful about like or not careful, but I'm just like real conscious about like what I'm drinking. Uh, you know, I don't like to talk to people, and not because I'm like not like in a pretentious way, like oh don't not now, don't bother me. It's more just like dude, I'm so nervous right now. I feel like I'm gonna yak. Uh, like I can't talk to you, or I can't talk right now. It's more of that.
Like in a real cool guy way.
No, in like a very
In like
in a
in like a
very
don't like a don't talk to me like you said before. Sunglasses on inside.
that would probably work though
Have
if
you
I
have you
had
ever have you ever done that?
what?
Sunglasses on inside while you're performing?
No.
Would you be opposed to it?
It's hard enough to be on stage. I already don't like people looking at me.
Hmm.
So I think if I was to go on with glasses, then I would think like, oh, now they're judging me. Like, look at this douche wearing sunglasses inside playing folk songs. Uh,
Yeah, that's what they said about Dylan too, huh?
yeah, they did say that about him.
Yeah, but they were wrong. You know, the whole Judas thing, blah 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 blah, whatever, whatever. How'd Tim? I want to get your opinion on this because I think we talked about it last time that you were on here about Bob Dylan and that you enjoy his work. How did you
Mhm.
feel about the movie? Did you end up seeing that? The in a complete unknown?
No, I didn't see it.
How do you feel about
I'm not really a
music?
fan of
Yeah,
biopics.
biographies, or biopics. Yeah,
The especially with someone like Dylan, because there's like you have what's it called? I think I have it here. No Direction Home, which is like 5 hours. Uh, documentary. There's Don't Look Back. I mean, there's just so much footage of Dylan with interviews, live performances, him just like being silly. It's like I can't think of a reason to watch someone play Dylan in a movie. It just, it doesn't make any sense to me. Not that it's cool that it's out there, and I'm sure a lot of kids got into Dylan because of it, which is great. I don't no hate on the movie, but I'm just not interested in it.
hmm
Same with like the Springsteen, like I mean I'm not a huge Springsteen fan to begin with. Uh maybe I would even watch the movie because I'm not a fan. So but yeah, biopics in general aren't that interesting. I mean, I thought Ray was pretty good.
with Jamie Foxx as Ray
Yeah.
Charles. And he really did learn how to play some of those tunes, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them, but at least some.
Well, I think Jamie Foxx is I think he's probably classically trained. I feel like I heard that somewhere.
Have you heard that he's a clone now? Have you heard that? It's not really the real Jamie. Not to get all conspiratorial on this podcast. And why haven't you come on my conspiracy podcast, Tim? Uh,
I haven't been invited. I'm not the like guy for that. I'm the I'm just too oblivious, kind of by choice now.
one biopic that I really enjoyed was, I think it's called Closer, and it's about Joy Division, uh, mainly
I,
about Ian Curtis.
I know I've seen like the thumbnail on like YouTube movies or something.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought or from what I remember of it, I really enjoyed it. Maybe I should go back and watch it again, but I thought that was really good.
I'll have
Um,
to maybe I'll check it out. I couldn't name you one Joy Division song. I know if I heard that one, I could be like, oh yeah, I heard that. But Joy Division's on the list, maybe. Maybe
mhm,
I'll get to it.
maybe.
There's so many. I mean, there's so many bands and artists that I just don't know that I've heard of that I know are great, like that are just kind of on the shelf. Because I'm more of like a, I'll get into one thing and then I want to get into that whole thing. Like I don't listen to like a lot of different stuff. Uh, so I'll go through like the whole catalog and you know just spend a lot of time with like one artist and then move on.
Hmm.
So
Tim,
maybe I'll
who would you want? Who would you want to portray you in a movie about
portray
your
me.
life? Yeah, and a
Uh,
biopic,
I don't know. Like any actor,
any actor.
can they be dead?
They can be dead, but if there's one who's alive that would also make the cut, I would like to hear that name as well.
Well, I don't know if he'd make a good Tim Hill actor, but I always enjoyed um what is his name? He was only in like a few movies. He was in like The Godfather,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Dog Day Afternoon,
Yep, yep, yep.
not Al
Not,
Pacino, but the other guy.
yep. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. All of the movies that he was in, one were,
yeah,
yeah.
but he also just had like such a like sensitive
John something. Oh, what's his name? But yeah, Deer Hunter,
no, Cazale, Cazale,
Casali.
John
That
Cazale.
that'd be good. So you're just trying to secure some film industry bonus points with having him. I understand you want people to see this picture.
Yeah,
What a
exactly.
run though, huh? Deer Hunter, Dog
Yeah.
Day Afternoon, Godfather,
Mhm.
um, another one. But I mean, even
I haven't
those.
seen them all. Yeah, yeah, I'm not like he's not my favorite actor or anything, but I'd always he's just one of those guys that you like when you've seen those movies, you're like, wow, you know, he's like just so magnetic on the screen.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Well, I like that. I like that choice, Tim. I think I
well,
like that.
like in A Dog Day Afternoon, like I was so enthralled by his character more than Pacino's.
Hmm.
Even though Pacino like was great in it, but just like his like sensitivity, like on the side of like the heist and just kind of playing the straight guy, but he was just like real nervous. You could just tell he was like real sensitive. Like I thought it was just such an interesting performance.
Yeah, Attica, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but if
Um,
I had to pick someone now, I would
mhm.
say like who's tall?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Tim, I appreciate you coming back on here. That yeah, number three. Um,
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. The new album, Sound Canvas. Now, I do have one more question for you. With these different um, cover arts with these more recent releases, Shades of Green, um, not paid or because we kind of talked about that was somebody else. But do you have a hand in making these or at least some of them? You did Shades of Green, right?
I didn't do Shades of Green. That was John Zabawa.
Oh, okay.
We did talk about
Apologies to
it a
John.
lot.
Hmm.
We did work together. I mean, he did the art. I didn't do anything really, but more. But we kind of came up with the concept together at least.
Is that the case for Blood Sun Moon Run as well?
That is a picture that I took of a picture. It's a picture of a tile from this old church in Russia somewhere, from a book that I have in my room.
Well, for a picture of a picture of a picture, it turned out very, very clear.
Yeah, it was great. Uh, I mean, I couldn't can't find the artist. I mean, the tiles. I think it's like 200 years old or something like that. It's from like a really old church building in probably Siberia, maybe. Um, the whole book's in Russian, but it was just a really interesting. I just thought the lady on the horse was just so fitting for that album.
Did it have a
Uh,
blue background? It was it red? Is the color the same?
I changed the color, so it originally was green. It was kind of like a light green, like all this markings on there,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of changed the hue of it
Uh,
to better match the record. I thought red kind of fit better with that record.
yeah,
Um,
but even altering the color of a picture of a picture of a picture, I believe that that's the lineage of that, and it's still coming out so clear is remarkable.
yeah, just shot with the iPhone. Shout
Well, they
out
are a
iPhone.
sponsor, so I'm glad that we've got that
Shout
plug
out
in
Apple.
there.
Yeah, and then Sound Canvas was I painted that myself.
Okay, right
Uh,
on.
that was the first thing I painted. I kind of just did something one day. I don't know if it's any good. I don't know.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Um, do you know the album art immediately as soon as you see it, or is it sometimes have to go through the filters of maybe what a song has to go through in order to be like, all right, this is it, or this is what I want it to be?
I think after like listening to the songs a few times, I kind of have an idea of what it should be,
Hmm.
but I don't know that I'm quite capable yet of executing that right
Hmm.
away. Uh,
Was it the
I w
same for these? I know that we talked about this last time, but with the album title or the track titles as well.
well, the track titles kind of went through some changes. Uh, some of them were kind of the same. Some of them were like longer versions of what they came out to be. Uh, but also like this, I had finished this kind of a long time ago. It kind of was done around the same time as Shades of Green. So it's been sitting for a while. And I think I was just putting off putting it out for whatever reason. Uh, so I didn't, some of the titles were changed, and then some of them were just like made up on the spot because it needed the title. And I didn't want to spend any more time on it. Uh, so, yeah.
From some of the alterations of previous ideas for titles, have you kept that in the bank for other songs that might be attributed to those to the titles? Or the titles might be
Like,
attributed to those songs, rather, is how I should have said it.
am I saving them?
Hmm.
Probably not.
That's what I
Probably
wanted to
just
hear, Tim.
I mean, yeah, I don't like to go back too far and like dig into stuff. Uh, I hopefully I'll come up with something just as interesting whenever whenever something comes up in the future. Uh,
So
but
is it strange going back and I mean having this as a new release, even though that they are older songs or songs that are derived from an older period in your life? Is it kind of strange in that aspect as well to be like, oh yeah, that's something that I wouldn't produce now, but I did produce then, that is putting being put out now.
maybe, but I still like it enough to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
There was, yeah, I had gone back and forth so many times. I was like, I'm gonna put it out.
Well, I'm
And
glad
then,
it's out. Yeah, sound
yeah, it was just
canvas.
kind of like a spur of the moment decision. It's like I just like went on the internet that day and just uploaded them. I just
No one
that's
stopped
just
you.
how by chance. That's just by how chance it was. So, and that's the beauty of getting to do stuff on your own. Because from the like, if you go through a label and then they print vinyl or something like that, it's like a 6 months period from the time you agree to, like, you can't make any changes to the titles. The art's going to be the same, and then it'll be out in like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, a long waiting time.
Yeah.
But people don't have to experience that with this newest release, Sound Canvas,
Hmm.
which is available through the Bandcamp as we mentioned up at the top of this, along with the other releases that we kind of just mentioned here. And that's at timhilltapes.bandcamp.com. It's free, or you could pay what you want. What I suggest, I know Tim won't say this, so I'll say it. $15 sounds pretty reasonable. If you got the dough,
Hmm.
that's a burger.
That's a number one from In and Out.
It's a number one from In and Out.
It's even more.
Like one and a half, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good deal.
Yeah, but that is the best place to go support Tim directly and um people can stay up to date with the brand new, I think it's a world tour that you're gearing up for.
Hmm.
That's the word on the street.
Word
Um
on the street. That's
not
it.
with anybody else, just by yourself. Classic you on the road, Tim. um these shows that are coming up, no, I'm just kidding, but shows that are coming up and new releases and news and everything else can be found through your Instagram at Tim Duncan Hill on Instagram. That's the best place to stay up to date with everything, so
Hmm.
please go follow him there. And do we have anything else to promote, Tim?
Just love.
Yeah, what else?
Dodgers.
I didn't pay you as a Dodgers fan.
Hmm.
That's a joke. I understand that you're, I think, I don't know if we can release this yet, but I think you're outfielder, right? For Dodgers?
Relief pitcher.
Ah, okay. Well, the rumors were true then, and I'm glad that we're kind of breaking it here.
Yeah.
All right.
The new venture. I'm excited.
So, and you're going to be the first player to both play the national anthem and play in the same game.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, somebody's got to do it, Tim. I'm glad that you're doing it.
Making history.
Traffic's a little bit difficult though, yeah.
Well, you can't have everything.
Dolph would love the game
Yeah. True.
and the $15 million deal.
Hmm. 1 year.
Thus, um, and that's why the Bandcamp prices have gone down a little bit since then, since signing that.
Yeah. I'm not like hurting for money or anything.
You flaunt your exuberant wealth very nicely.
What's wealth if it can't be flaunted?
That's true. Thank you again for coming on here. I really appreciate it. You're the
Yeah.
man.
Thanks for having me.
Um,
You're the man.
I'm finally got you to say it. after it only took 3 times. I'm gonna stop recording this. I'll talk to you in a minute, all right?